Welcome, dear listeners, to a brand new episode of the Dark Swanson podcast. I am your host, once known as Swanson, but today I embrace the shadows as Dark Swanson. A transformation has taken place, born out of a harrowing tale that I must share with you all. You see, my comrades, Kiorein and Stairmaster, embarked on a treacherous journey to the summit of the fabled Mount Podcast. Their mission was to retrieve the only known cure for the dreaded Televoid syndrome. This sinister disease plagues our society, causing its victims to become trapped in an endless loop of binge-watching mediocre television shows. They lose all sense of time and reality, ultimately forgetting who they are, and living only to consume more subpar content. But alas, my friends, Kiorein and Stairmaster's journey ended in failure. They could not reach the summit, and the cure remains out of reach. As a result, I have renounced my former identity, shedding the name Swanson, and now emerging from the darkness as the enigmatic Dark Swanson. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of television and pop culture, let us join forces to help those afflicted by Televoid syndrome, and reclaim our lives from the clutches of inferior entertainment. So, dear listeners, I invite you to join me on this new journey, together as we explore the depths of the television world, where we'll shine a light on the darkness and strive to conquer the Televoid syndrome once and for all. Welcome to the Dark Swanson podcast. Let's begin our adventure. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews.
That's right.
I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and colleague who is a bit of a jerk. Just take your pick. Stairmaster.
I got choice paralysis. Help me. There's too many.
Oh, you hit me in the face with a notebook.
Ow, you stabbed me.
You deserved it.
Whatever, I'm the goose that he fights in the episode we didn't watch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, remember Goose Game? That's what you are. You're kind of like a Goose Game.
Okay.
How topical. From like, how many years ago was this?
Well, when the podcast started, I think.
Wow.
Video games really have peaked with that game, huh?
Yeah, they never got better.
Yeah.
That AAA video game.
Well, yeah, welcome to Kio's Gaming Corner.
Oh my god, guys, did you hear about Star Wars Jedi Survivor being like 150 gigabytes to install?
That's too many.
That's over half of my solid-state drive's capacity.
Same!
Keo, why are...
The load times are gonna be insane!
Keo, when you're in the gaming corner, why do you kind of sound like Ash Ketchum?
Oh.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm just a regular old
gamer.
gamer.
Nah, Kia's too low-pitched to be Ash. Is right.
You're right. Yeah, it's got to be a little higher pitched. It's got to be a little higher pitched. Welcome to Kio's Gaming Corner.
Brock said he was going to breed me. I wonder what he meant by that.
I'm not a Pokemon. And that third voice you're hearing, of course, is our other co-host and exasperated Dean, Kiorein.
What am I gonna do with these guys?
Sorry, I'm tenured. There's nothing you can do. Allegedly.
What a wacky situation.
And scene.
Oh, I want to complain so much about this show.
We'll get there. Don't you worry, pal.
Hey, keep your hands off me. Hey, step back.
You gotta follow the protocols. Swanson, inject him.
No, I'll be good. I'll be good, please.
All right. But I'm hovering over the button. Welcome to another exciting edition of TV Tuners. Can you believe it? 2 back-to-back episodes of us talking about a TV show? It's unheard of.
Regular vanilla flavored TV tuners.
I just want the listeners to know I argued vehemently against this.
Yeah, you almost convinced us to watch a show from, 2000 something?
Probably like 2003.
Yeah. You
Like
wanted us to watch a show from 20 years
Cancel
ago.
core.
I mean, he didn't so much convince me as just make me think that was the case. He just said, "Hey, we're watching this," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
But I
Maybe we'll watch it next week. Hopefully.
Yeah, I humbly asked for this, which we'll talk about whether or not that was a good idea.
Swanson said this would be topical and relevant to the zeitgeist.
Yeah, are people talking about this?
Yes. I mean, well, I feel like Stair has at least one comment that he can't wait to share.
Oh, I feel like that's a comment that belongs to all of us.
Like we have a lot of opinions on everything. We like whenever we see something, we have things to say about it. Even if the thing to say is like no,
right? And
that is a comment.
Will we say no? That's really what you tune in to find out.
Okay, so I looked up Twitter to find out if people were talking about Lucky
Twitter.com?
Eggs, and like the number 3 top tweet is a clip of Bob Odenkirk piping down his wife in the shower.
Oh, I feel like we watched the wrong episode.
Yeah. Well, you don't get to see his dick. It's like neck high.
Well, I mean, watching this show, I thought that there was a sexless marriage.
That did seem to be the case, yeah.
Okay, but do you agree with this Twitter sentiment that this is wilder than Mick Wexler?
No.
This clip?
Unless she's doing that, like, we've all seen that fan art clip where Jimmy is, like, his legs are up against the wall and Kim's, like, holding him.
No, I am not.
Oh.
I don't think I want to either.
Well, you're going to. I can't wait to purge my search history after this, but...
No. Apparently there's a shirtless Bob Odenkirk in every episode, according to these tweets.
I don't think he was shirtless at all this episode.
It was pretty sweaty, at least. I think you could see his nipples in that gym.
A lot of people down bad for Bob Odenkirk out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the comment that I shared with you.
I'm not even kidding. That's not even a joke, Kiorein. There are a lot of people who are like, Bob Odenkirk is attractive.
Oh, I think this is like a rotoscoped off of something else.
Okay, so I've posted this, Kio. Do you want to describe what this fan art is?
It's the popular characters from the hit TV show Better Call Saul, James McGill, and Kimberly Wexler.
No, that's Saul Goodman. Look at his dress. His outfit.
It's true. That's Saul.
I thought this was like in the prison.
Oh, maybe
environment.
He got dressed up.
But maybe it's some other. Maybe it's some other.
No, his hairline's too good for the prison era.
Yeah, he's bald in prison era. Spoilers.
Oh, good point. Anyways, they're somewhere with a chain link fence, and she's got him like it's almost like he's sitting in a chair, which is her hands, and she just kind of. I don't understand the physicality of this exactly.
Oh,
Kim's very strong.
He's holding on to it with like
a reverse grip. He's holding on to the chain link fence with his hands.
Yeah, but okay, the physicality doesn't make sense. Though,
because his arms are bent like at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, and like barely holding.
Yeah,
on.
so he's not really using his upper back properly to hold himself up.
She's not like pinning him against it either. She just kind of easily.
Yeah, you're right. It should not be a
Easily
chain link
holding-
fence. It should be a wall or something, right? That makes a bit
Well,
more
that
sense.
would make even less sense because he wouldn't have something to hold on to. He'd just have his hands pressed against it.
Yeah,
I guess you're right.
Either way, though, they're exchanging a kiss, which could be like making him levitate slightly.
It's true.
Which is what I've heard kissing does.
Kisses are known to do that.
Yeah, Keo doesn't kiss his girlfriend because it's not in the Bible.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
Oh,
it's...
yeah, we have what we call a biblical partnership, which is mostly business.
Right. Anyway, I think it's safe to say that this relationship is not wilder than Mick Wexler, just because they had shower sex once.
Yeah, they did not ruin anyone's lives, as far as I know.
And then have sex afterwards.
Yeah, and get it on while they were listening to the man's life be ruined.
Wow, irredeemable people.
Yeah.
Disgusting people.
Lalo should have killed them.
Yeah, that would have been a worthy end. Anyway,
Better show.
welcome to another exciting edition of the show. Also, Twitter.com, Stair? Is that what it's called still? I thought it was Titter.
I think it might be. I thought it was called Doge.com.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Love it. That irascible scamp.
He's hashtag our guy.
That's right. We love him here on this podcast. It's a pro-Elon podcast.
This will be revealed later on, but I disagree, and I'll tell you why later on in an upcoming section of our podcast.
It's secret. But of course, if you're listening to the pod and you have a question, a quip, a comment, foresight, otherwise, and you're just dying for us to see it, well, why not send it over to our email address? And hey, we might just read it aloud on the podcast. That's right.
No?
Yeah. All you got to do is go over to tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kiorein?
TV Tuners Podcast at gmail.com.
Are you sleepy now?
That's right. Send them over there. You can be like Gio, who sent us this email.
Huh?
I'm sick of all this hating on TVT.
Oh.
Whoa.
Boys, I know the internet is really mad at you guys now, ever since Stairmaster ate all those hot dogs. But I want you to know that you have some real fans that will stick with you no matter what, and we're both still listening to the show.
Well, to be fair, those hot dogs were supposed to go to Palestinian children. So I think
yeah, it was a weird
criticism.
It was an odd program we were doing where we were sending a box of hot dogs to Palestine.
Because, they're blockaded.
Right. But we specifically...
But I was
we
also
didn't have
very
any other
hungry.
Food. There wasn't any
why
other
did
food
we-
included. It was just hot dogs.
Why was it Hebrew Nationals, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We got the branding wrong.
I mean, technically speaking, they do and conclude that in their scriptures.
I mean, listen, all of the...
There's overlap.
Listen, there were some mistakes being made, but I think the biggest was Stairmaster eating those hot dogs.
I think
didn't
that
even cook 'em.
the whole concept... Well, yeah, I mean, they
It's
come
like-
fully
it's-
cooked in the package.
It's like Vienna sausages, Swanson. You don't need to cook them.
I guess that's true. There's still more to this
I don't
email.
think
You
it's
don't-
true. Oh,
Anyways.
sorry.
You actually do not need to cook hot dogs. They do come fully cooked, but they should be... they should be, given some browning so that they taste better.
Anyways, I'm working on a pitch for a buddy cop procedural where one cop is an alcoholic Albert Camus type, and the other is an implementation of Chat GPT. The AI is going to have a crush on someone or some computer or something. I don't know. I don't know what, in order to color the script up a bit. So what unrequited love should the AI pine for? A love strong enough to cloud its judgment during key moments and make these scripts a little easier to write? Since this premise is thin as Stairmaster's belly after he finally puked up all these hot dogs? Yes, and Gio.
I like imagining a little computer monitor on a Segway. And it's got very bad text to speech.
And it's just trying to figure out the meaning of love.
And it's that once there's a Chat GPT. So it's like, draw me a circle, and it does an ASCII hexagon.
And the cop is just like, God damn it, ChatGPT.
As an AI language model, it will be inappropriate for me to engage in any type of romantic activity.
Like they're in a
I'm
shootout.
incapable.
But then it finds like the one person or thing that is like, it makes them not say that.
What you mean?
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, this
No,
is...
why would Donald J. Trump be in the police procedural?
Well, perhaps he's being indicted.
Yeah, that's the case that they're on.
Maybe he's like in love with the mortician.
Maybe he's in love with Bill Clinton, who will also soon be indicted. Checkmate.
Oh,
libs.
like are you on like the Q thing now?
No, they're going to indict Bill Clinton as to show the libs who's boss.
Oh.
I would hate for them to do such a thing. I personally would not like it if this happened. I would not be hooting and hollering.
You would not say, quote, this owns.
Maybe there's like a defense attorney recurring character who, since it's a police procedural, is colored as the villain.
Yeah, I like the evil defense attorney who's like maliciously trying to keep a murderer from going to jail.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I think it's one that we should continue to put on TV screens. That like all defense attorneys suck.
Oh my god, imagine an episode where they like have to investigate the Aryan Brotherhood. They gotta keep the AI from constantly agreeing with the suspects.
They have to keep the AI from bringing up Hitler.
No, the AIs are actually honestly pretty left-leaning in their responses.
I can't wait for the season finale where there's a bomb that only gets turned off and you say the N-word and ChatGPT can't do it.
Oh, like Benjamin Shapiro is very concerned about?
Right, exactly. And like for some reason the other cop is incapacitated and it's up to ChatGPT to say the word. Anyway, I hope this helped you. Yeah, tvtunerspodcast at gmail.com. That's where you go if you want to send all of your popular requests. And, yeah, listen. Hey, guys. I have an important question for you right now. One that makes me anxious until I get it out. You know, it makes me sort of nervous about asking this question.
Swanson answers no.
Here goes nothing. What'd you guys watch this week? Anything fun? Interesting?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, Stairmaster watched something.
I watched John Wick 4.
Ooh.
I heard
Chapter
there's
4.
both. I heard it both slaps and owns.
Yeah. This movie sucks, Dick. But like in a good way. This
Okay.
movie sucks my cock.
Oh.
Which is a good thing to happen to me.
Yeah, that's good.
That is something that people would seek out and experience.
It's a great way to describe something that you enjoyed. This fucking sucked my cock.
Okay, why was it good and why was it
Well, they kind of just
worthwhile?
gave up on the plot.
That's good?
Yeah, because they were doing the Harry Potter bullshit of this hidden assassin world, and they're just like, okay, let's just have John Wick kill everyone. Let's just have paper-thin excuses for him traveling the world, going from city to city.
And he does.
Yeah.
So they cut out all the BS and got in the good action.
Yeah, he had nunchucks in this one.
Whoa.
Donnie
Holy
Yen's there.
shit.
He's a blind guy who still kills people with a gun.
Holy shit.
Michael J. White's there. He plays Nobody from the hit Bob Odenkirk film Nobody.
Oh, wow. He's stealing Bob Odenkirk's role?
Yeah, well, he's too busy. Yeah, Mr. Odenkirk is too busy filming Lucky Hank
Oh my
That's why it should
god!
be John Wick 4. Like we all
Shame.
wanted.
No,
We
come
were all
on.
hoping.
You're kidding.
Could you
You're
imagine
joking. You're joking.
John Wick and Bob Odenkirk interacting in any sort of way?
No, I can't. I'm not good enough for that.
It's all, those movies could easily have taken place in the same universe. Well, John Wick 1 and Nobody. Maybe not the later films.
Okay, it was a joke. Okay, got it.
Well,
Thanks.
no, Michael J. White does play a guy named Nobody.
But he's
not from-
He is not nobody
No.
from the film Nobody.
No. He's not.
He's a different nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Very suspicious, honestly.
Anyway, as a tune in,
Yeah.
noise. Anything else?
No.
All right. I watched a movie by the directing duo known as the Coen Brothers called The Lady Killers. You know how in Elvis, the movie Elvis, Tom Hanks is like the bad guy and he has like a ridiculous accent?
I'll pretend that I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. Keep going.
Well, what if I told you there was a movie that came out beforehand where Tom Hanks also plays the bad guy and also has a ridiculous accent, only it sucks ass?
Well, I'd be very suspicious of you, and I would ask for more details about this to verify.
So this is, I feel comfortable saying, the worst Coen Brothers film. So it's a remake of a earlier film starring that had like a bunch of old British guys being like criminals who were gonna kill an old lady because she got in their way. It's like a masterpiece of black comedy, like one of the first big black comedy films. So it seems sort of natural for the Coen Brothers' whole style, except it's just way too wacky this go around. Tom Hanks plays a guy who is like a southern like professor who is trying to perform a heist with a gang of criminals, and he takes up residence in a black lady's house, and this black lady is like stereotypical Southern Baptist black lady, and then he and his gang are involved, and his gang has a guy who's like a demolitions expert because the heist involves tunneling through part of the basement of this lady's house. Listen, it's very convoluted is what I'm getting at. There's a demolitions expert whose whole gag is that he has IBS.
Oh, that's a great gag to
Oh,
have.
just like me, for real.
There's a black guy whose thing is that he says the N-word constantly. There's an Asian guy who's briefly hinted at being a member of the Viet Cong, but he never speaks, so you don't really know.
Whenever I'm watching a movie that's not doing too hot, I usually like pause it and I like give some constructive criticism, and then usually the movie kind of changes course a little bit, and I can enjoy it a little bit better. Did you try that?
I did. It got worse.
Okay, I'm sorry this happened to you, Swanson.
Yeah, thanks. And of course, to complete, as all heists need, to complete the ensemble, we have a dumb himbo.
Oh, he's just like me, for real.
A big lumbering himbo guy, who also gives us the best Coen Brothers shot in the entire movie when we see him playing football at the beginning, and the camera is in the perspective of him in the helmet. And you see him like moving around the field and getting knocked out and getting back up and getting knocked out again because he's really bad at football.
That's fun.
What a shame.
That's the only fun part of the movie for me, for real. The rest is sort of just unfunny.
How sad is it to be bad at something?
Speaking of unfunny.
Oh?
Yeah? Talking about us?
We watched a show today that we're going to talk about in like a while.
Okay, yeah. And that
Yeah.
show's called Lucky Hank.
It's not time for that yet, though. We've got like...
Oh.
a few more things. So that's a tune out on this one, Swanson?
Yeah, that's
It's
a tune out on
It was
Lucky
a, it was
Hank.
a, it was a it's a tune out on the Lady Killers. Stay tuned on Lucky Hank. It's no good. But hey, listen, I'm a man of equal taste. I give and I take, you know. So I watched
Equal love,
a show.
equal wrath.
Exactly. I watched a show that I quite liked. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Stairmaster in particular remembers this show, because I specifically recall him vetoing it when he found out the premise involved a lot of ladies.
Oh, okay.
She's not in favor of women.
I watched the first season of Yellow Jackets.
Which one's that again?
It's a Showtime show that involves a high school soccer team that crash lands in the woods.
Oh,
and they get stuck there for 18 months.
why did I veto this?
Because it's an all women's soccer team.
Oh, I must have been doing a bit.
But they the show the thrust of the show is taking place in that era, and then also 25 years later, as some of the survivors have sort of tried to piece together their broken lives. And of course, there's mystery elements, and you're not quite sure who survived and who didn't outside of like the main quartet that we see. And they play around with that a lot, which is in fun ways. It's like Lost, but better because they don't immediately go to supernatural shit.
You gotta save that smoke monster for the second season.
They hint at stuff that could potentially be supernatural, but it feels like it's not going to be. There's a lady who can't take her medicine anymore, so she starts hallucinating stuff, and then she starts hallucinating, like, she starts predicting things that just happen. And people start to think she's a prophet. It's cool. It's cool shit. It's good stuff all around. It occasionally devolves into like teenage melodrama with some of its subplots, but that's fine because the main stuff is very interesting. I believe the second season just started, and I can't wait to dive in. Tune in.
Nice.
Also, a guy gets his leg chopped off within the first episode.
Ooh,
Our
that's
least
nasty.
favorite limb.
Which leg?
You know, the one that got chopped off.
Yeah, true. Anyway, tune in.
So, what's the news, Swanson?
Yeah, let's get to the news, folks. Well, guys, as you may know, Star Trek is having a moment. And by which I mean Paramount has decided that the best way to bolster its streaming service is to keep adding Star Trek shows until someone likes them.
Okay, they try to make like a good one.
No.
Like,
There is one good one. I think I've mentioned it before on the pod.
Yeah.
there is?
Yeah,
And
Strange
it's
New
called
Worlds.
Legend of the
It's a good one.
Galactic Heroes.
Yeah, my favorite Star Trek show. Definitely about a utopia.
Oh yeah, I think you did talk about that. I'm still not convinced it's real, whatever you're talking about, Swanson, but I'll trust you on this one for now.
Well, there's a new Star Trek show that's going to hit the Paramount Plus platform in 2024. That's right, folks. It's finally time for Star Trek to get teen drama.
Teen?
That's right. The new series is being created by the current franchise head, Alex Kurtzman, and the writer for the CW's Nancy Drew, Noga Landau.
What?
This show is going to, quote unquote, introduce us to a young group of cadets who come together to pursue a common dream of hope and optimism. That's right. It's Starfleet Academy. Have you ever wondered what it was like to become a member of the Star Trek Starfleet? Well, now you'll get to find out while kids do it.
Well, now see, maybe they could make this more interesting. Maybe, like, there's a war going on against, like, maybe the Principality of Xeon, and, like, the Academy gets bombed, and
What's
kids have to
I'm sorry, the
commandeer
Principality
ship.
of what?
Xeon.
Is that a thing?
And so
what-
yeah, and then the
that
guys
sounds
got to
Star
get in
Trek.
and then the guys got to get in a big robot to fight the other robots.
What if instead it featured explosive rivalries, first loves, and a new enemy that threatens both the Academy and the Federation itself?
Don't care.
I mean, Gundam had that stuff.
Huh.
Rivalries.
This announcement comes in the wake of this current flagship show, Star Trek Discovery, being announced as concluding in 2024. So they got to keep
announced
the
as
Star Treks
cringe
running.
and gay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens when this show hits the airwaves. Will it feature teens? Yes. Will it feature anything else? Question mark.
Well, honestly, like when I'm watching a TV show, I'm pretty much just looking for one thing, and that's teens.
So you're looking for,
and that's a normal thing for an adult man to say.
Yeah, true. A man who is is entering his 30s.
Oh god.
Right. That's normal behavior. Healthy. I'm a healthy, happy
Yeah,
person.
we're red-blooded American males. Probably.
True. Yeah, I think we're that.
Like I pretty much just count the number of teens I see in a TV show, and the higher the number, the better.
Oh no.
Would it be better if the Starfleet was like, we need to recruit a team of teenagers with attitude?
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody.
Yeah.
Go on.
Do they even have people with attitude in Starfleet?
I mean, yeah.
Like, who's
Worf
the
had
meanest
attitude.
guy? Yeah, but he came from the Klingon Empire.
I mean, he still went through Starfleet.
I don't think the human race has attitude anymore by the time you get to Star Trek times.
Are we gonna just ignore that Captain Kirk is like consistently a guy with attitude?
Is he? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
thinking like teens with attitude, sort of attitude.
Oh, I don't know if the teen.
I mean,
I'm sure
Kirk
there are
is just
teens.
kind of a jerk.
Yes, true. But isn't that what a teen with attitude grows up to be if left unchecked?
You're right. Captain James T. Kirk should have become a Power Ranger as a youth.
Yeah,
Teens with attitude is a sign of a deep societal rot.
it's true. It's what happens when we let our society become infected with insert thing here.
The new Burger King Whopper.
That's right.
They have a new.
Which Whopper is better than sex?
The Flesh Whopper.
I hate to tell you this, but that already exists. It's called the Burger King Whopper.
Yeah, you can come on this Whopper.
And that is in the marketing, which is real strange. New Whopper. You this one? You can come in.
Wait, have you not seen it, Swanson? I posted this like in a million places. The Burger King, the Whopper you can fuck.
It's not a bit you're doing
No.
right now.
I guess you have to play this on the podcast so the listener at home understands.
I'm saying that like the messaging of it is not you can come in the Whopper.
What is it? What is the messaging?
Anyway, to sort of elaborate on what Stairmaster's talking about, is an AI generated voice who is using the Whopper man's voice to say that this is a burger. The Whoppers are now burgers you can fuck.
Just put it in the podcast. It's like 30 seconds long.
I will not be doing that.
Oh, what? You're afraid we'll get sued for slander?
Yes.
I mean, technically speaking, you can fuck the Whopper.
There's nothing saying that you can't, but there's also nothing saying that you should.
I think that the Burger King corporate does not condone
coming
this
on the Whopper.
Hold on, I'm getting a fax real quick. Yeah, it's a cease and desist. It's a picture of the Burger King and Stair. Is this your family?
Oh, I guess so.
I mean,
wait. The Burger King has Stairmaster's family.
I guess that's the implication here.
Okay, but it's not like a hostage situation. It's just like they're just kind of.
I feel like this is very much a hostage situation.
I'm getting another fax here, and it's a picture of a gun that looks like a Whopper.
You cannot fuck this gun. This gun will not make your balls explode.
This is.
Well, maybe it might. It might. used properly.
Yeah, perhaps not in the way that you want. But I mean, listen, if they have the technology to make a gun out of a Whopper, then I'm very scared. So I think we should stop this line of questioning immediately. And move on to our next news item. Harry Potter, everyone's favorite franchise still in the year 2023. What? We all love Harry Potter still, and there's nothing problematic about it or its creator.
Have I given you the dark tale of how I dropped Harry Potter?
Oh, what do you... No, maybe.
Dropped it? What do you mean? Like you were holding him as a baby?
No,
that's how you got that scar.
Yeah, true. It was Keo. They just blamed it on Voldemort, who was blameless.
Yeah, have you ever hear of dropping an anime, Swanson?
Yeah, I don't feel like you need to explain it.
I mean, I don't think it's exclusively an anime term. I think you could say you dropped a TV show.
I feel like lots of people use the word drop to explain abandoning things. Yes.
I guess. Yes. But I most often hear it when you talk about anime, though. Like, people use a lot of different terminology for when they quit watching a TV show.
Okay, nerd.
Yeah, like tune out.
Okay. Yeah, they tune out. But anyways, yeah, I was 10 years old, I think, somewhere around that age, and I liked the first 3 books.
Oh.
I read the first page of the book, the 4th book. I was like, what the hell is this garbage? And I
had a very similar arc.
Were you so pissed off that the book opens with Voldemort's perspective that you were just like, fuck this shit?
I was baffled by the shift in narrative to talking about, I think you're talking about a house or something.
Yeah, it's the house he's hiding out in.
Yeah, so I read that. I read that, whatever it was, and I was just like, all right, I think I'm done with this entire franchise for good. And I never touched it again in my life.
I mean, it turns out in the long arc of history, you were correct, Kiorein.
Yeah.
It didn't help that I was reading those books at an age where they were far above my reading level. Or far above my ADHD, at least.
Let's see. When did I start reading them? I guess... I don't know. I read them at a time when I was
I tried to read Jurassic Park when I was in first grade.
I was not 10 when I was reading them, that's for sure. So I guess perhaps it worked a little bit better for me as a non-10-year-old. But I had already seen the movies, so it was like, oh yeah, this part happens in the movie. For at least the first 3.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't... It wasn't like I was having a hard time following it or
No. You're a smart one me.
Yeah, it was just that I thought that the story got very boring and it was very abrupt. This we went from a 3rd book to some other narrative. I just thought it was poor. I thought it was just bad writing. That's what I thought.
Well, I mean,
as a little 10-year-old critic.
Well,
and look where you are now, Keo.
Yeah, I'm vindicated by history.
You didn't get to learn about Cho Chang, Keo.
Which is the only Asian character to appear in Harry Potter.
Or the only black guy.
Who I think dies in the same book that you put down.
His name was Cedric or something.
Or no, he doesn't die, I don't think. I think he actually
gets dies, yes, he dies.
Does he die?
He dies in the movie, at least, and that's the version that people care about.
Okay, then I was wrong. He does, in fact, die. Yeah, Keo, you missed all those great characters that we grew to love.
I like the idea of a race of beings
who run all the banks.
There, I was going to leave it there. I was going to leave it there.
A race of goblins who run all the banks.
And then in the video game, you have to oppress them via military force.
That's not even what I was even gonna start talking about.
Oh, how about the race of elves that love being slaves?
Okay, that's what I was thinking of, but I was just gonna leave it at a race of beings and let you fill in the rest with your imagination.
The elves get hard on being enslaved. They're we love it so much.
They love getting stuck in glue traps. You would not believe it.
We love having to wear sackcloths and like just obeying
And
every word.
Did you ever read
us.
like the side book, the Compendium of Mystical Beasts?
No, I did not.
It was crazy because like one creature would be like, "Here's a giant ferret that wanders the land," and then here's this weird black sheet that floats through the air and lands on children while they're sleeping and dissolves them into nothingness if they leave their windows open.
This feels like someone was like. This feels like they got like it got ghost written by someone who wrote like the Pokemon manuals. Like the later day ones where like one Pokemon will be like, "This is a happy pig," and the other one is like, "This is a samurai that steals children."
There are so many child thief Pokemon, like
Yeah,
more than one.
A lot of Pokemon that are kidnap oriented.
Literally.
Anyway,
So that's a tune out on Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was this news story involving Harry Potter.
Yeah, it wasn't just me talking about Harry Potter.
This is not just meant to be going on a spiel about Harry Potter. That's just what I think I turned it into that suddenly.
Yeah, well, we all know, of course, that the movies were hugely popular, very successful.
What?
Ended about a decade ago at this point, which means it's perfect time for it to be rebooted.
Oh, okay, go on.
Yeah, you know, the Harry Potter, one of the most well-known stories probably currently in the world. Well, now now it's time for it to get rebooted, but not as a movie, as a TV show.
Ugh!
What are we talking about? Reboot? Like they're retelling the story.
That's right.
From a fresh new 2023 perspective.
Well, I'm sure they'll still find a way to make Cho Chang a thing.
Her name will just be Elizabeth.
That's a beloved character
They can't do
who everyone likes.
Yeah, the
So
series
what we're
is going
saying
to...
is, get ready for people to be mad on Twitter. This is the
Right.
worst kind of human being coming out of the woodwork, like cockroaches and termites, to spew venomous bullshit. Literally,
I want like a Harry Potter series to have like a black individual, and his name is like Fried Chickington or something.
well, you know, J.K. Rowling in the original draft.
Go on.
She had a character
sorry.
named Fried Tender.
Yes.
So a little less on the nose than you wanted, Kyo, but perhaps
Are
worse.
you kidding me?
But yeah, so HBO wants a deal here where now the because you know one of the prevailing problems with the movies, if you talk to people who like the books, is that they just had to cut too many things.
Like?
You know, like the material that we all loved about, I don't know, wizards shitting and then using magic spells to get it to go away.
That's not even in the books. J.K. Rowling just brought that up like 20 years after the fact.
Did you ever hear about that, Kyo?
No.
Wizards
heard about,
instead of using the bathroom, wizards just shit and piss and then magic it away.
Yeah.
Why?
Did you know that there's an entire prequel Harry Potter series about how there's an evil wizard who's trying to use magic to stop the Nazis from doing the Holocaust? So the good guys have to unite to bring them down.
To make sure that happens.
Yeah. And also he's Dumbledore's gay lover.
Can we stop? Can we stop?
No, I'm afraid there's still
England.
more.
We need to, just...
As you might expect, each season of the TV show will adapt a single novel from the book. So you're looking at at least a 7-season run here of this Harry Potter series.
How's that work? Are the seasons gonna have varying episode lengths because the books just had like this like creep of page count?
Yeah, each book got significantly longer. Like, that's the other thing too, Kyo, is that like you stopped like right when the books got like to ridiculous lengths.
Yeah, well, okay, that's part of the reason why I quit was because like I was like, wow, this is a long one. This is going to be amazing. I'm going to have like a lot of content here, and I crack it open. I'm just like, the house was a house. I'm like, okay, I think I'm not going to put the time into this.
Yeah, because I think like the
so
next,
true.
I think like the last 3 are all like 800 to like 1,000 pages. I'm probably over exaggerating because it seemed longer as a kid, but I'm not going to look it up. What am I? I don't have that time on my hands.
I mean, that sounds right to me as somebody who was not bothered reading any of those.
Yeah, so it's unclear what the length of those seasons of TV would be, but one would hope they won't be the same length because the first Harry Potter book's like not even 200 pages.
Yeah, they should make a Legend of Galactic Heroes TV show instead.
Let's see. So the Goblet of Fire was 734 pages long.
Jesus.
Order of the Phoenix was 870.
Okay.
But then she decided, hey, that was a little bit too long. That she went back to 652 for the Half-Blood Prince, and then the Deathly Hallows was 759. So you were not far off there, Swanson.
I do remember Order of the Phoenix being absurdly long. Anyway, yeah, so we can all look forward to more Harry Potter in our world. J.K. Rowling, of course, will never see any punishment. She's too rich for that.
I hope I die soon.
Well, one could only hope. But hey, I'm sure we'll all look forward to dissecting this Harry Potter show when it comes out in 5 years or whatever the fuck. Anyway, enough of this news. We have a segment, one that I'm hearing is new to the pod. It's Kio's Mental Health Corner. Hit the theme, Stair.
Everybody, it's Kio's Mental Health Corner, and we're gonna be a joiner as we listen to him talk about his mental health and, what's something that rhymes with health?
Wealth. Stealth.
He's gonna give you, and we are gonna get a knowledge of, I don't know, fuck.
Of wealth, yes, correct. Thank you, Stair.
I'm trying to figure out how to do wealth of knowledge, but I couldn't reverse it.
We've got a knowledge of wealth that you're going to drop on us, Kiorein.
Yeah, so first thing before we get started on this one, I just want to ask you guys, how has your day been?
Pretty alright, I guess.
My stomach was upset earlier.
You having a good mental health day?
Yeah, I guess.
You feeling... Well, I'm here to tell you that you should not be having a good mental health day.
Okay.
Oh.
You should be having a great mental health day like me.
So,
because
good is not enough is what you're saying.
Yeah, I've cracked the code on mental health, and it's all about positive thinking.
I'm glad that I think you're the first person to do this.
Yeah, you got to think positively. You got to think about the good things. You got to think about breakfast. You got to think about lunch.
Whoa.
Got to think about snacks.
Is it cool if I write this down?
You can write it down, yeah.
My man's dropping bars.
Yeah, and... Well, I want you guys to have a thought exercise with me. So I've established a pattern here where I've discussed breakfast, I've discussed lunch, I've discussed snack. You guys know the other thing I'm telling you to think about?
Dessert.
Dessert. That's all. We're getting there, but that's
meal?
not quite it. It's not. Well, we're not there yet. Not quite there
Brunch?
yet. Now, brunch is something to think about only on Sundays.
True. Okay, why don't you just tell us, Kio?
Dinner.
Oh, dinner. Let me write that down. Should I underline? I feel like I should underline that.
You should probably underline that. That's a pretty major meal, honestly.
Yeah, some would say the most important meal of the day.
A lot of people are saying this. Many people agree that dinner is the most important meal of the day. And it's just a fantastic meal. It's a kind of meal that you sit down at night for, and you sit down and you eat that for dinner.
It's true. It's the only meal I usually eat.
Yeah, and you look forward to it the entire day. You're thinking about it all day long, and it keeps your spirits high. Positive thinking.
Makes me smile when I think about the idea of eating it.
Yeah, so you eat that dinner, and it's all about positive vibes. And also, guys, it's time to get rid of your dark, disgusting vices.
Oh?
Which ones do you mean? You're gonna have to be more specific.
Okay. Well, think about the most disgusting thing you do during the day. The thing that brings you great dread and guilt each time you do it.
Shitting?
Gnarly.
But yet you.
Waking up?
No.
Living?
No. Talking about something that
Jacking
you just
it?
come. Oh no.
Gooning it?
Not at all. No, that's a positive thing that you can do to
Approve.
have a good time.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking.
I'll
talking
do that
about
more often now.
Talking about scrolling around on the Twitter.com.
Oh? You mean Doge.com?
Oh, it's been officially renamed.
Yeah, the
No, I'm
official
glad I
website of
got- I'm-
Dogecoin.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm glad I got out of that toxic relationship with social media.
The new cryptocurrency you can fuck.
So you're done with all of them,
No,
not
I-
just Twitter?
Well, yeah, I'm done with all. I was only on Twitter, so yeah, I'm done with all of them now.
In the what?
And I'm officially clean for 7 hours now.
How does it
Wow.
feel?
It feels really good. Like
That's a new record for you, right?
now, yeah, it's a new record. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm having a healthy dinner now. I'm eating lentils for dinner.
Oh, Twitter was preventing you from doing that?
Yeah, it was.
What were you eating when you were on Twitter?
I was eating like a gourmet
Hebrew National
steak
hot dogs.
dinner. Hebrew National hot dogs with chili on them, which is referred to as a chili dog in some societies.
Whoa, that sounds way past cool.
It is pretty cool, but it's a dark, decadent lifestyle I was living. Now I'm eating lentils, Brussels sprouts,
And
unseasoned
Yeah.
tofu.
Stare reacted before you even said tofu.
I had a little new type flash.
He heard unseasoned and he knew it would be bad.
I mean, typically when you describe something as unseasoned, it's usually not going to be good.
I love it when my food has flavor.
Well, you know, flavor
there's some
flavor is bad for you, Stare.
I mean, there's some food you don't season, but like you wouldn't call it unseasoned. You would just call it that food.
Did I talk to you guys about Popeyes and how I couldn't taste the spice?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah, you couldn't taste the flavor, but you could taste the spice.
No, I couldn't taste the spice. It just tasted like regular chicken, and then my mouth burnt.
Right,
The spice did not add anything to the flavor.
Now, Keo, do you think this
yeah,
situation would have happened if he was off of Twitter?
If you were off of Twitter, you would have felt every ounce of that. You would have savored every bite and came back for more.
Well, that's good.
Like, I can eat a handful now that I'm not like suckling at the teat of Titter. I'm now able to just enjoy things in life. I can eat a mouthful of lentils and I can just feel like intense rush of orgasmic flavor in my mouth.
Orgasmic. Is that good?
Yeah, lentils.
These lentils will make your balls explode. These lentils are better than sex. These estrogenized lentils will give you breasts the size of basketballs.
Yeah. So yeah, my recommendation, guys, is to get off Twitters and go grab yourself a big bowl of lentils
Or the new Whopper at Burger King.
and a new Whopper at Burger King, and put some lentils on it, and then come on it.
In that order?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that mental health segment, Kiorein. I think it's very important for everyone to have that moment.
Have you learned a lot about your mental health, Swanson?
Oh, no, I didn't say anything like that. I just said it was important.
I'm glad for the message.
Yeah, the message is important. It doesn't mean I have to learn anything, you know?
Okay.
But now let's not waste any more time, I guess. It's the main event, folks. We watched a show, and now we're going to talk about it. Lucky Hank is the latest AMC program that features Bob Odenkirk returning to the network as English Department Chairman Hank Devereaux, who walks the line between midlife crisis and full-blown meltdown, navigating the offbeat chaos in his personal and professional lives at the underfunded Pennsylvania college that this show takes place in.
I don't see meltdown on the menu at all. It just seems sad to me.
Yeah, did Lucky Hank get you lucky, or did you lose all your money?
Which is not a plot point in this episode that we watched.
True. I mean, did you lose your job? How about that?
So I came into this program with high hopes because it's got our boy starring, Mr. Robert Odenkirk.
Yes, Mr. Bob.
Sir Robert Odenkirk.
Mr. Robert John Odenkirk. Yes. What a basic ass name for this guy. Robert John? That's all you could do?
I'm sorry.
I entered here with very high spirits. I watched it. I really tried to like this. I put in some effort into enjoying this program.
I was like, oh, Swanson implied that people are talking about this. I'm sure it must be good. And then it turned out TV Tuners has become a house of lies.
Well, people were, I guess, talking about how
this is the kind of programming that is. I think the biggest adjective I could call this is a soul-sucking program.
I think this should have been like a 2-hour movie.
I don't think this should have been a movie either.
No. I mean, like the whole series, not just the episode we watched. Like if
what would the movie even be about?
A guy having a midlife crisis, and he's played by Bob Odenkirk. And we don't watch it, but some guy on the Oscars board does, and they nominate it.
I mean, I probably
but it doesn't win.
Well, of course not. Why would something good happen, Keo?
I mean, you're talking about just something different.
Yes.
When you talk about a movie.
I'm saying they should have done something instead of this.
I would be happy with them just not doing anything, personally.
Yeah, this did I mention this comes from a 1997 novel by an author who was also an academic? So it does feel sort of like a navel-gazing type of work.
Suck my dick.
And I think that is sort of part of the problem here, which is that it's a show that's it firmly believes it is being funny, very funny.
I think it believes that it has something to say, that it's meaningful, and that doesn't seem entirely deserved.
True. There are moments.
It opens. It opens in the best way you can possibly open your show by making you dislike the lead.
Oh.
and not like in like a fun, endearing way. It's just like a kind of like screw this guy kind of way. I was actually on board with him until the voiceovers started, and he started ranting about just like anything.
Yeah, that was very annoying.
Like the scene with him in the class was like, oh, I could see if years and years of this led to you being like, yeah, we're stuck in the capital of mediocrity, this school. Especially when you're in the middle of your life.
Yeah, but then he's like resetting my internal monologue, and I've already heard that enough in my day to day.
I can maybe get behind it, but no, he was just being a horrible person in this opening sequence. Like, you might be able to get behind the sentiment of it, but he's teaching a class and he's just being like, he doesn't care.
We should mention that Keel is a teacher.
It's true. Actually, his first voiceover is him reciting a grocery list to himself as the class is going on.
Oh yeah.
Right, and the students like call him out on this, and he goes on a rant about how like, you know, that no one in the class has any talent, and that they're there because they're all mediocre. I'm like, you know, maybe that's true, but I don't care.
Now see,
feel endeared by this.
I think there's going to be like a moment where he experiences a downfall because of his character flaws, but that's going to be like episode 4 or 5. And if this was a movie, we'd be at that point already.
Right.
Within this episode's runtime.
Yeah, I mean, it is sort of an unwarranted attack, even if the kid's writing was bad. And it was.
It's amateurish. You made some mistake. He's being avant-garde for the sake of being avant-garde.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the impression that, like, I don't know, the kid probably wasn't looking for constructive feedback. He just wanted to hear some compliments or something. Versus he actually was trying to get feedback from the teacher. Because he did get argumentative about it. So, I mean, I could kind of see, being upset with him. But the conversation was... It was an interesting conversation, but it did not make you... endeared to the protagonist at all.
Yeah.
It was just like...
I think part of the reason the opening
sucks.
scene works for me is also that Bob Odenkirk is very good.
I mean, the performance was good,
yes,
but
it only goes so far.
Well, that's why I said the opening and not the show.
The opening was able to engage me, but the effect on my psychology with this character was just like, screw this guy. I don't like this guy.
The house made of
I wanted
rotten
to see
wood,
him
if
suffer
you will.
more indignities than a notebook to the face. I needed him to poop his pants or something.
Get hit in the balls.
Yeah, and him to go like,
Now, see,
oh, my nards!
Now see, if like the show opened with him just like walking across the campus, and then a football, doink, and he falls over and you get the title drop.
It'd be the best show of all time, I mean. Because, Better Call Saul is Better Call Saul, but Lucky Hank had a football.
A guy being very unlucky.
It's ironic, you see.
Misfortune there.
But yeah, the misery, like the miserable train keeps rolling because he's having a convo with his wife where he's talking about how everybody is 80% miserable.
Yeah, he's not even unlucky in this episode.
He's actually extremely lucky.
Which I guess is ironic.
It's ironic unirony.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he...
okay, but the soul-sucking part of this program is just that every interaction on this is just kind of dreadful.
Yeah, every character is not likable, which is a problem. You need at least... If you're going to have the lead be unlikable, then you have to have some of the other people in this cast be enjoyable to look at and, like, hang out with.
And this is a brand of comedy I've seen in several shows that we've tuned out on this podcast where... They think it's funny for people to just suck, I guess.
It's funny to have one person who sucks.
I mean,
that's fine.
I think Barry's the only show that does that well.
Yeah, but there are characters in Barry who don't suck.
This is like one per season. Usually.
Like, most of the people that Barry hangs out with in terms of the acting group don't suck. They're not horrible people.
Well, what's her name is like a narcissist. That's like the point of her
I would
arc.
say that's still significantly better than being a hitman.
But that still sucks.
But, right, there's levels of this shit. All these characters are, like, self-obsessed.
It's not just sucking. It's also being completely uncharismatic.
Yeah.
Right.
Having interactions that have no chemistry at all.
And, like, that seems to be the point, right? Which is that, like, everybody is at a level of academia or success where they don't have to look inward anymore or think about anything.
Yeah, they're dehumanized and faced to the bloodshed.
Yes, and they all suck as a result. But that's not, like, a fun show.
How am I supposed to feel sorry for this guy when he's going to have more money than I ever had? You know, a wife and kids.
Look at his house. His house is nice.
I'm never going to own a house.
His house, he's got a big-ass table.
I'll be lucky to have a small table.
we're not really given a reason to care deeply for this guy. It's like, okay, he doesn't feel fulfilled.
What's his
in
goal,
his life.
anyways?
Well, we don't.
I guess he wants to write a second book.
We don't know what his goal is because I don't think he does. I think that's what the idea here.
Which is a bad first episode.
I mean, there's not. It's bad in the sense that we never get a sense of what he actually wants. We should, by the end of the episode, get an idea of either he's in a state of crisis because he doesn't know what he wants or something like that. But all we get is that his dad has retired and he feels a way about that.
And also, he's very bitter about everything. And I think the show knows what they're doing too, because they dangle in your face like a positive interaction, and then they're like, actually no, it's actually going to go very sour very quickly.
Like when he talks to the kid again, and he's like, "Fine, I'm apologizing to you," and then the kid's like, "Could you write that down on like a letter and sign it?"
Right.
And he's like, "Actually, fuck you."
Or when his daughter comes by and they're talking and it turns out she's just trying to borrow money.
Right, and it just leads to an argument between the two that they abruptly cut from.
Right.
The only positive relationship seems to be him and his wife, but that seems more like they're used to each other and have grown weary.
Right. It's not. I don't think it's positive at all. Again, they have a couple of moments where it seems like it might be positive, and then like quickly, like they give you like 3 seconds of it, and then it's just like, oh, actually, this is gonna go south immediately.
It must be going okay, judged by the clip that Stairmaster showed us of them, doing it in the shower, hotter than Kim and Jimmy.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just there's a lot of unlikable characters here. I'm trying to try and remember some basic plot points here. He talks to this kid. This kid's like, "No, my parents and I are angry." The dean's like, "I can't do anything about it because he's tenured." He's like, "That's right, you can't do anything about it." And then his staff try to vote him out as the head of the English department, but then they just vote him back in
by accident,
which is kind of funny, but not. It feels like
it was also very predictable as well.
It was very
yeah. This is sort of like a slice of life anime, but for like Kamala Harris or Elizabeth Warren voters.
Elaborate on that.
Like nothing really happens, just sort of just like vibing.
Except the vibes are negative.
Yeah,
like
there's no
Harris
real
voters.
narrative. You're supposed to sort of just let it wash over you, except instead of cute anime girls, it's old college professors.
Who all suck.
Yeah.
Everyone hates. Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, basically.
Did I mention that it's not funny?
Yeah,
it's not funny.
That's the main.
That's
gist
a tune out
of this for me is that it's
what's your guys' laugh count on this one?
0.
0.
1 maybe.
I was like, oh wow, when he went off at that kid, and I was like, where are we going with this? And then I was like, yeah, nothing's happening.
You had a 1, Swanson?
No, I don't think I did. Maybe it was a chuckle. I honestly thought I had a 1, but I don't have anything written down that would symbolize it as a laugh moment. So I guess not. My notes were very sparse for this.
Mine is like a 0 with a tilde next to it. It tricked me into thinking that laughter might be coming.
True. Oh, you know what? I had a mild chuckle for when he's back with the group and he's reading the open letter that the student has written, and he's saying that like he's got some good points, but it's terrible writing, which is just very it's very funny asshole behavior for me to admit that the person has good points while you're still being a huge dick to them. But that was like it wasn't like anything. None of the situations in of themselves are funny.
I think Lalo Salamanca should kill this entire TV show.
He could
do it. I think Gus should come in and buy out this college, even though it's in Pennsylvania and not anywhere near New Mexico.
Well, what would he get out of that?
The satisfaction of, showing these people who's boss.
What if he came in and bought it and then like whipped it into shape and it was an excellent school after that?
Yeah, exactly. That's not the way we handle students here, Hank.
But of course, it's a front for a meth operation, and everybody ends up like in a giant explosion or something.
Yeah. Walter White kills them all in order to get to Gus.
Sad
ending, but deserved. There's nothing. There's nothing to this one, man. I wish it was better. Because, I love me some Bob Odenkirk. But
because now it's 50 minutes of our lives we won't be getting back.
Well, I don't even care about that at this point. We're 100+ episodes into this show,
Yeah, what are we doing?
I've come to expect that the majority of what we watch is going to be not good. So I want something that's interestingly not good and not just this. It turns out mediocrity is a good sort of indicator for this show, which is what he keeps going on about.
Ironic.
Final thoughts?
No.
This is no, I think I said what I wanted to say. Just everything. It's just a toxic show. Just toxic. That's what I think is. It's a toxic program.
All right. Well, that's I'm assuming it's a tune out.
Yeah, that's a tune out on this, whatever it was. What the hell was that?
That's a tune out on Lucky Hank. Our apologies to Mr. Odenkirk.
Our apologies to the TV Tuners audience.
I was hoping for something like wild, like when we watched that. Was it Your Honor, that Bryan Cranston show where he's a judge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting for something like insane like that, where it was like bad in like a fun way. This was just boring, unfortunately. But hey, there's still hope. There's that show where Giancarlo Esposito's like a priest or something that's coming out soon.
Like what kind of priest? Is he like a priest in danger?
I think he's like a sexy priest.
Okay, sure, why not?
I don't know for sure what it's about, but I just remember it was one of the things that they were like, when Better Call Saul had its series finale, they were like, don't worry, Giancarlo Esposito is still going to be on AMC with this show that we don't even have a trailer for.
He's like a priest wearing Balenciagas.
Yeah. That's right.
I need dripped out priests in my life.
More priests should be dripped out. I feel like it would help the sort of whole deal. Okay, it's called Parish.
Okay, I believe you.
It's a crime drama.
Okay, good.
Starring Giancarlo Esposito as a guy named Parish. So maybe he's not a priest, and I just assumed it.
Maybe it's in New Orleans.
Something to think about. Anyway, I'm sure that'll be something for us to watch at a later date and time whenever that comes out. But for now, this is a tune out. And that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show, guys. As always, of course, if you're watching and you're like, hey, this was all well and good, but what if I want them to watch something that I like? Well, fear not. For just a simple coffee, $3, you can get us to watch one episode of anything that you want. Maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a show.
Maybe it's that video of the Whopper you can fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get an hour out of that. Whatever it is.
Very dark hour.
A very blue hour. Whatever it is, all you gotta do is go over to buymeacoffee.com/tvtuners and buy yourself a coffee. For us. That's right. And that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show. Until next week, keep watching. by, it's over.
I found him.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster is a disgruntled, tenured college professor?
That's true. I teach Russian history.